All right, let's get started. My name is Dennis DeLoach. I want to welcome you to the 8th episode of the Uncle Jim Effect podcast. I'm actually filming this from beautiful Deer Valley, Utah. We are up here as a family. This is our 15th year in a row that we have, for Thanksgiving, gathered together as a family. And I'm looking outside. We had about 1.5 or 2 feet of snow overnight. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful scene. And that got me to thinking on this Friday Focus video, I wanted to talk a little bit about gratitude. And gratitude, in my mind, is the greatest of all virtues you can have. In fact, let me read this quote to you. And I really like this quote. It's by Marcus Tullius Cicero. Gratitude is not only the greatest of all virtues, but the parent of all others. And I love that concept that if you can have gratitude in your life, it leads to so many other things. I guess in a negative sense, I know they talk about gateway drugs, where this drug is the one that unfortunately leads you to all these other dominoes that fall. But on the contrary, if we can have gratitude in our life, and that's gratitude for all things, if we can have gratitude in our life, it actually leads us in a positive domino effect to all of these other characteristics that are so important to us in every phase of our life. I also wanted to talk about something I was taught a long time ago by a great mentor, that there are 2 areas of life that we really can't overspend. And those 2 areas are health and creating memories for your family. And that's what how we started this journey about 15 years ago. We decided as a family on Thanksgiving we were going to get together, and so we would come up here to the Park City or Deer Valley area and rent a home and just have 6-7 days of fun with family, whoever could come. At this current time, we've got 6 children and 6 wonderful in-laws. We've got 13 grandchildren, and all 27 of us were together during this holiday. And that's what led me to think so much about gratitude. I am so unbelievably grateful for our family. We are absolutely a totally normal family, meaning that we have every type of issue you can think of. But one thing we have for each other is a tremendous amount of love. And for that, I'm extremely grateful. So let's talk about how we can incorporate gratitude more into our own life and how that can lead to so many other things in our life that we're wanting to achieve. We've talked about having 10x goals. We've talked about helping uncover our God-given potential. We've talked about creating a tsunami of hope for ourselves and those around us. How do we do that? There is absolutely no question in my mind. It starts with gratitude. And so let's talk about that a little bit. Today, I want to talk about 7 characteristics that in my mind, and there's a lot more, but 7 characteristics that in my experience have directly come from my ability to express gratitude consistently. The first one I want to talk about is charity. And the definition I'm going to use for charity, and I love this, it comes from the scriptures, is charity is the pure love of Jesus Christ. And as we think about that pure love, whether you're a religious person or not, that pure love of Jesus Christ is really, truly the goal that we have in our life when we talk about love. I think the closest that we as mere mortals come to that is on the birth of a child. As we see this innocent child, there is nothing but pure love. And I specifically, in my instances, remember those times very dearly, where it literally changes your life. And so charity is the pure love of Christ, and that to me is the first thing. As we develop gratitude, that to me is the first byproduct of charity. The second one I want to talk about is compassion. And compassion is basically the desire you have and the action you take to relieve the suffering of others, right? So when we see somebody in a situation that they need help, whatever that might be, what is the thought we have in our heart? Hopefully that thought isn't, well, they brought this upon themselves, so I'm not going to help them. Or then that speaks volumes about us. Our duty is to have compassion on them, or to have a feeling of, I want to help relieve that suffering. So that's the second characteristic, compassion, that really is a direct byproduct in my mind of gratitude. And the third one on that is commitment. So once we have expressed, gratitude, and we feel the pure love of Christ and charity, we have compassion upon others. To me, in my heart, there then became a commitment to, I really like this feeling, and it makes me feel good, and it actually brings blessings to me. So I'm going to continue to do that, and that's that commitment. So the third one is commitment, that once we've experienced these things, the commitment in our heart starts to grow, that's exactly what we want to do. The fourth one, and again, we've talked a lot about this, is hope. And the tsunami of hope we're trying to create with this movement we've started with this podcast is a real thing. And I think the hope, the simplest definition I know is the expectation of positive outcomes. And that can be in any area of our life: health, finance, spirituality, relationships. So it's the expectation of positive outcomes. That's what hope is. And that's our fourth byproduct of expressing gratitude. And so as we express gratitude in our life, and we have all of these positive emotions, then all of a sudden we become hopeful that this can continue, and that we can express and receive those things that we desire in life. The fifth one that I wanted to talk about is health. And health is not just as we think about our physical health, but and not just merely the absence of disease, but it's actually our physical, mental, and social well-being. So it's not, when I say I want to talk about my health, it's not just the blood work, although that's critical. It's not just that my body is in good shape, although that's critical. It's not that I can go walk or run a race. Those things are all absolutely critical, but it's also, what is my mental health? What is my social health? What is my state of being? And so as we talk about health, we're talking about the whole enchilada, so to speak. So health is one. The fifth one we want to talk about is energy. I'm sorry, number 6. The sixth one we want to talk about is energy. And energy is the capacity we have to do work. And by capacity, I mean, if we are grateful and accomplish things, it takes a lot of work to really try to create a tsunami of hope for ourselves, our family, and those around us. And so we need a lot of energy. And the number one way to affect the level of energy we have, or the capacity to do work, is to get our physical body in shape, to be able to go through the rigors of everyday life and to focus and do all of those things. So energy is the sixth byproduct that we see coming directly from gratitude. And finally is focus. Number 7 is focus. And our ability to focus is to be able to center our attention, our activity, and our efforts on clearly defined or stated goals. So what that says then, for us to be able to absolutely focus, we have to have clearly stated goals on which to focus. And focus is the ability to center activity, thinking, thought, and those things. But we can't center if we don't know where the center is. And we don't know where the center is unless we have a clearly defined, stated, or purpose. So what we've talked about again today is gratitude is the key, in my mind, to everything we do in life. And as we have gratitude, as we express gratitude, as we do it every day, to me, there's a lot of domino effects we get. I just talked about 7 today. And the 7 we talked about were charity, compassion, commitment, hope, health, energy, and focus. I hope that helps you today, and focus on gratitude. There's another saying that I came across that I just love, and it says, gratitude is the healthiest of all human emotions. The more you express gratitude for what you have, the more likely you will have even more to express gratitude for. Isn't that the truth? The universe or God or whatever you believe in, I absolutely know that that's a correct principle, that the more we express gratitude for those things we're given, the more that we will absolutely receive. And that is a direct byproduct of expressing gratitude. And I know I've shared with you a couple of quotes. I want to share with you one more. Quotes always affect me in a great way because, like a parable, it makes me think along so many different lines. But this is one that talks about currently where we are in life and where we're at in relation to where we want to be. And I love this because a big part of life that most of us are not good at is the ability to stop, step aside, and look back and say, wow, we have actually accomplished a lot of things in life. It's like hiking up a mountain. You never know how high you've got until you can stop, take a breath, turn around and look back. And you realize, wow, I'm not at the top, but man, I've come a long way. Same thing in life. And that quote says, do not spoil what you have by desiring what you do not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for. How true is that? And that was by Epicurus. But those things we have now, at one point were our goals, dreams, and the outcomes that we wanted. So step and be grateful that every step we take up that mountain is achieving another goal. And don't focus so much on the top of the mountain. It's great to focus on that as we're climbing, but we've got to stop and enjoy each step or achievement, or we will lose gratitude. Again, today is actually Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. And so we have 32 days, including today, until Christmas. I want to challenge you to not only express gratitude in your heart and mind and to those around you, but I want you to quietly set a goal to express your gratitude and to help change the life of at least one person in this next 32 days as we lead up to Christmas. I think I've done that in the past, as I know you have, and it has dramatically changed my life. And it's always such a beautiful experience to see the gratitude those people have for you. And this isn't something you have to share with others. Trust me, it'll be enough energy and fuel for your soul that it will drive you for the rest of your life. I also want to tell you that we've got some big things coming up in this podcast. I am unbelievably grateful for the tremendous support we've had. This is our 8th video, and we currently are somewhere north of several 100,000 views, and I am so grateful for that. And I know that together we can create a tsunami of hope. Please like the podcast. Please subscribe to it. That means the world to us. Share it with your family and friends. This means nothing if it's a quiet movement. Let's get the world in on this tsunami of hope. Again, you can reach us with stories, questions, anything you want at Deloach Podcast. That's DELOACH podcast at gmail.com. Again, I'm so grateful for you. Let's get this thing going. Enjoy Black Friday. Don't shop too much. Express gratitude to those you love. And I will see you next week. Thank you so much and goodbye.